Welcome to Violin Adventures number 242. We jump right into answering questions about hide glue. Now, hide glue is a perfectly natural glue. There are 3 reasons that I keep in mind of why I would use hide glue over any other kind of glue for a string instrument, for a violin, viola, or cello. Now, it can be different for, say, guitars or harps, which are plucked instruments, but we're talking about a string instrument that is bowed with a bow and needs to be able to vibrate in every way possible. So, here's 3 reasons why I use hide glue. Number 1, it is very, very strong. You can look at instruments that were made in the 1600s, front and backs have been glued together with hide glue and they are still together. So this is a glue that is very, very strong, and it just depends on how you prepare it, how strong it will be. But I wanted to demonstrate. Here's a piece of a top that I had glued together. Now when I break it, it should break not on the seam, but next to the seam. Now when I broke it, it broke next to the glue joint. Let me try it on this one, see if you can see it better. Okay, here's our joint here, and here's where it broke. Okay, so the glue joint, if it's done correctly, will be stronger than the wood. I just wanted you to see that. We don't know how long it really lasts because we have instruments from way back, 300 or 400, 500 years ago, and their seams are still together, the back and front seams that haven't been messed with, and they still hold. So, number 1, it's strong. Number 2, it's reversible. Even though it is so strong, it is also a glue that when you separate, it does not tear the fibers. It comes clean apart. These very expensive instruments that have very important repairs can be reversed if they need to be. That's a really major key for using hide glue, where it will not destroy or harm the instrument in any way. It is reversible. And then last of all, the 3rd point why hide glue is so important is it vibrates with the instrument. It's the only glue that carries the vibrations and doesn't affect the vibrations. All right, now on how to prepare it. I've got here some hide granules. This is what they look like. It's much like when you make jello and you have the little granules and you need to soak them in water first. Now, I like to use glass jars, and why is that? Well, I read that if you use metal, it can weaken the glue. So I like to use a glass jar. And I also like to make just enough glue that I think I'll need in the next week or 2. I want to keep it fresh and clean and strong. And if you're keeping it longer than that, of course the glue is going to weaken over time. So to keep it fresh and clean, I just use what I think I might need. So at this point, I'm going to use this much, and I'm going to fill the water up to about double what the glue is. Okay, here we go. If you can see, the water is just double where the glue line is, and I'm going to let that sit probably for about half an hour until all the granules are dissolved. And one more point about the glass jars. I found that if you use jelly jars, they withstand the heat and the boiling. Some jars can crack, so jelly jars are the best. Okay, if you can see there, that was just probably about 10-15 minutes, and it has already expanded, doubled in size, and so now it's ready to start cooking. And I'm going to put this in a pot and get the water boiling, not a heavy boil, but a nice boil, and I'm going to let it boil for 2 hours. And then I'll check it, and it may need another hour. But the one thing I have to watch is not to forget that it's there boiling and to keep water in the pot until it's ready. I've got the water ready here. We put a paper towel folded up inside just to protect the jar. Turn the heat up, and now there, the granules are all ready to go in. We're going to cook that for about 2 hours, and then we'll check on it. Just checking on the glue. This has been about half an hour. It's a beautiful color. It doesn't stink yet, so it's nice and fresh. And let's check it. Okay, I've taken some glue off of the brush, rubbing it around here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's still sticky. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It's getting a little weaker, but it still has strength. So now I know. So that's how I check the glue. All right, the glue is ready for a repair. The professor gets on with his purfling.
Here's our bee sting going in the bee sting slot. Just shove that up in there. There we go. How does that look? Do I need to shove it up a little bit more?
There you go.
Ooh, there we go. That's where it's meant to be. Well, you got me nervous now.
I know.
Ooh, come on, baby. Too purful or not too purful? That is the question. The answer is to always purfle. And I just made up a verb. Okay. Get that guy going right up into the deep as he can go. Oh, yeah. Oh, I gotta twist it. There.
It's time to take down the violin and get it varnished. Here's our new violin. I've really been enjoying it. I don't want to take it down, but we got to move forward. I've been playing it in a big auditorium, and you can hear it very well. So now we'll play it for you, and then we'll take it down. say shalom at the end of the episode. It's time to take down our beautiful violin and put the first sealer coat on. And I have here 3 batches of sealer coat. This is dated 2021, 2022, and 2024. I did a little test on all 3 of them, and the one that is the best right now is the 2021. It's best for color and for sealer properties. So we're going to go with this one. It's the oldest batch and probably the prettiest at this point. Okay, real quick, I did a little bit of a spray of the sealer coat on the violin just to darken it a bit. And then one of you reminded me that I had promised to get the weight of the violin before. So of course this has a sealer coat on it, but it shouldn't be that heavy. So we're going to weigh this and see how much it weighs. Okay, we're just under a pound. We're at 12 ounces. So our violin is 12 ounces in weight. Time for a story. Okay, we've got another old book here that is called Famous Violinists. And this was first published in 1899, and this one is published in 1925. So the first chapter talks about the violin and a little bit of its history and how it was received when it first came out. And it had a couple poems in here that I thought were very interesting. But then this would be talking about the early 1600s. Violin playing grew in favor in Italy, France, Germany, and England at about the same time. But in England, it was many years before the violinist held a position of any dignity. The fiddle, as it was called, was regarded by the gentry with profound contempt. Butler, in Hudibras, referred to one Jackson who lost a leg in the service of the Roundheads and became a professional fiddler. And so here's the poem. A squeaking engine he applied unto his neck on the northeast side, just where the hangman does dispose to special friends the knot or noose. For 'tis great grace when statesmen straight dispatch a friend, let others wait. His grizzly beard was long and thick, with which he strung his fiddlestick, for he to horsetail scorned to owe, for what on his own chin did grow. Oh my, what a poem. And then many years later, Purcell, the composer, wrote a catch in which the merits of a violin maker named Young and his son, a violin player, are recorded. The words are as follows. You scrapers that want a good fiddle well strung, you must go to the man that is old while he is young. But if this same fiddle you fain would play bold, you must go to his son, who will be young when he's old. There's old young and young, both men of renown. Old sells and young plays the best fiddle in town. Young and old live together, and may they live long. Young to play an old fiddle, old to sell a new song. Okay, then I'm going to skip over a few pages. This is still in the introduction, and this is around the 1700s. An amusing incident is related of Dubourg and Handel. The latter visited Dublin and presided at a performance of the Messiah. A few evenings later, Dubourg, who was leader of the band at the theater, had to improvise a close and wandered about in a fit of abstract modulation for so long that he forgot the original key. At last, however, after a protracted shake, he landed safely on the key note, when Handel called out in a voice loud enough to be heard in the remotest part of the theater, welcome home, Mr. Dubourg. Dubourg's name is the first on record in connection with a performance of a concerto in an English theater. And I'm skipping ahead again, and we come, so next week maybe we'll start in chapter 2. This would be 1650 to 1750, and it starts with some stories about Arcangelo Corelli, whose name is recognized as one of the greatest in the history of violin playing and composition, and who laid the foundation for all future development of technique, was born in 1653. He showed an early propensity for the violin. Corelli at one time sought fame away from home, and he is said to have visited Paris, where Lully, the chief violinist of that city, exhibited such jealousy and violence that the mild-tempered Corelli withdrew. And here's a picture of Corelli. So we'll read about him next time. The Hebrew Minute. Vayizkor Yemei Ulam Moshe Amo Ayeh Hama Alem Miyam Et Roe Zono Ayeh Asam Kirvo Et Ruach Sho. Remembered the days of old of Moses with his people. Where is he who brought them from the sea with the shepherds of his flock? Where is he who put his Holy Spirit in them or with them? If you know where this is found, please leave it in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your wonderful comments. Thank you for your thumbs up. And thank you to the new subscribers. And until next time, bye.